Hello there, you amazing viewers and subscribers, and welcome to a brand new Doctor Who video for today. So in this video, it is my least favourite companion from the 60s, 70s, 80s, the 2005s, the 2010s, and of course the Jodie Whittaker era. So I thought I'll talk about my least favourite companion from each era of Doctor Who, from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 2005s, 2010s, and then of course the 2020s so far. So what made me do this is because I was watching and I commented on another Sci-Fi Guys video he said that he made yesterday of least favourite 70s companions. So I thought, why not do this differently to him, and why not talk about the ones I don't like from the 60s, 70s, 80s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and you know, so on and so on and so on. So I thought, why not do this? So for the 1960s, my least favourite companion of the 1960s has got to be Dodo Champlet. The image should come up. Now, Dodo, we've only got like 3 stories of hers basically technically existing, which is the Ark, the Gunfighters, and the War Machines. Now, I don't really mind doing the War Machines because she does leave the story at the end, like in episode 2, after she gets brainwashed to try and kill the Doctor. But the rest of the point of her travelling with the first Doctor that I have seen, how can I say this without being... It's just terrible, terrible. There's something about Dodo I just really do not like. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because of the lack of episodes. I mean, I have got the Social Toymaker in the Lost in Time DVD box set, and I don't even like her in that episode either. She doesn't seem like the kind of spark the Doctor has for a companion. She seems very, very dull, very, very boring. I don't know why she's just there, really. So hopefully we get like her very first episode get animated or get found at some point, and then we can go. Then I can actually go, oh, she ain't really that bad. But from what I've seen out of her kind of stories, like 2, 3 major stories, I really don't like it. In the Gunfighters, I just think she's absolutely terrible. In the Ark, where she's there sneezing and coughing, and basically she passes on a virus that starts to kill people. Yeah, not a really interesting companion, that one is. She nearly kills people in the far future. So yeah, for the 60s, worst companion for me has got to be Dodo. She's just absolutely terrible. Really don't like her. 1970s, it is Romana 1. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I don't like Romana. I do like Romana 1, but out of all of the 70s companions that I've liked to watch, I absolutely love watching Liz Shaw, Jo Grant, Sarah Jane, Harry Sullivan, Leela, K9, Romana 2. But this Romana, I just feel there's no chemistry between her and the 4th Doctor in the Key to Time season. Now, if she was in season 17, I think, yeah, okay, I probably could have got used to her. But I really don't like the way she is, like, where she's half of the season, she's like a damsel in distress, where she gets kidnapped quite a few times, where, like in the Pirate Planet, and she's just there sitting out saying, I'm pretty chilled. That's a good bit about the Pirate Planet. That's a good thing. She's very good in the Pirate Planet. I really don't... From her introduction in the Reboss operation, where she goes, my name is Romana Lanvalunda. By the time I shot that, you could be dead. Look, I could either call you Romana or Fred. Alright, call me Romana. Call me Fred. Alright, come along, Romana. That bit's pretty funny for them. But when we get into later on the Key to Time segments where she gets kidnapped and basically makes an android copy of her, yeah, I just really don't... I really think she's a kind of a bit dull, really. Not an interesting Romana, where Liana Ward for Romana 2, I think she's absolutely interesting because she's got 2 seasons of Doctor Who. She's in the 80s, in the first season of the 1980s, and the last season of the 1970s. Listen to her in Big Finish have actually improved my thoughts on Romana 2, because I think she's actually quite interesting enough. And the fact that she has a sonic screwdriver basically makes her a lot better than the first Romana. And I'm sorry to say that, but I just really don't like Mary Tamm's version of Romana. I'm thinking I might need to give the Key to Time another rewatch at some point. I know she has some Big Finish audios, Mary Tamm does, before she passed away. So I am going to try and hunt them down at some point so I can actually sit down and listen to them. 1980s, my least favourite companion of the 1980s, and I'm sorry to say this, it is Melanie Bush, who travels with the 6th and 7th Doctors in season 23 after we watch Perry's death. And of course, in season 24. Now, Bonnie Langford is known as Mel because basically the one thing Mel is, she's a screamer. Every time you hear her scream, it goes right through your eardrums. Now, in Big Finish, she's a lot better, but the thing is though, if I was going to go but add Big Finish into this, I think, yeah, you know, she's not that bad in Big Finish, but unfortunately, Big Finish is trying to redeem herself for me, like trying to redeem her character arc, where I really think for the TV series, I just don't really like her screaming, because when, like in Terror of Air Voice, where she's there investigating, you got this electric shock and somebody dies in front of her, she goes, ah, like that, and the scream just echoes. Oh, and then literally get Trial of Tunnel theme into it, and then basically she's screaming straight into the title sequence, like into the end credits. Oh, it just does your headache. It absolutely does your headache. And then when Tara Ronnie, when she gets caught in the big ball and she's there screaming. Now, for me personally, if I was trapped in a big ball, you know what I'm like? I'm a bloke. I'd just go, wee! No, women. Or should I say men? Ah! Yeah, who gives a damn? Mel, for me, is not an interesting companion. Now, if we had a bit more screen time with her, say if she was in season 25, imagine having Bonnie Langford in season 25 with Sophie Aldred, to have the 7th Doctor have Ace and Mel together. I really think that could be quite good. I mean, Dragonfire was absolutely amazing. And again, I do like Dragonfire, but Bonnie Langford does scream a lot in that episode as well. So I just don't really like Bonnie Langford. And for the 1980s era, I really think she's the weakest companion. Because out of the 1980s, we got Adric, who, yeah, I understand why people don't like Adric. But I have to say, he's a lot better in season 18 than he is in season 19. Tegan is very, very gobby, and she does put the 5th Doctor in his place. Nyssa, I kind of enjoy her. I like how she's like a scientist, and basically her and the Doctor basically connect during science, which is very interesting. And it reminds me a bit of the 3rd Doctor and Liz Shaw in season 7. Tarlo, yeah, he's pretty much okay. He's not a great companion, but he's very standard. Chameleon, he was only in for 2 episodes. I can't really class Chameleon because he's only in the King's Demon and Planet of Fire, so I don't really class him. Unless the Doctor deactivated him after the King's Demon and then put him inside the cupboard, and then after Resurrection of the Daleks, he's like, right, that's it, I'll just reactivate Chameleon, give myself another companion to talk to instead of having Tarlo. And then, of course, we've got Peri, played by Nicola Bryant, who I met, and she's absolutely fantastic. I love Nicola Bryant. She's amazing as Peri. She's very stubborn, especially with the 6th Doctor, and she does put the 6th Doctor in his place and like has a go at him and stuff. Mel definitely is the weakest for the 80s, and then the strongest companion for the 80s is definitely Ace. Ace is definitely the strongest. Out of all the companions, by far, Ace is the strongest, and she's my first favourite, and she's right on top of it. Now, coming into 2005 to 2010, really, and who is the weakest companion? Really, in my eyes, it is Adam Mitchell from Dalek and, of course, The Long Game. Yes, I do class him as a companion because he did basically travel in the TARDIS. So I basically do class Adam as as a companion. Now, Adam, for me, he decides to do this for the wrong reasons, really, by having the little thing in his forehead, and you click it, it goes... So, yeah, Adam, for me, is not the greatest companion. Yeah, even though the 9th Doctor basically just get fed up with him, and basically throw him out the TARDIS. Again, the 9th Doctor did treat Adam a bit wrong. Adam did think of himself, but I think... because if you look at all the companions and stuff, I mean... I really think the Doctor was a bit proper hearted on him, and I really think the 9th Doctor could have forgiven them. But Adam's, with only 2 episodes, is not really like the strongest companion. He's definitely the weakest in the mid-2000s. He's definitely the weakest, and I just don't like Adam. 2010s now, from 2010 to 2020. Oh dear, this one's got so many great companions. With Amy and Rory, we got Clara, we have Bill, we have Yaz, Ryan, and of course Graham. And then for the 2020s, we've got Dan Lewis. So I have to say, so far out for from 2010 to 2020. The weakest companion, and I'm sorry to say this to all you fantastic people that love Jenna Coleman, it is Clara. Clara, for me, I consider her to be the weakest 2010s companion. Because after the whole story arc of her being the impossible girl, I really think in series 8 and 9, she's just draws out of it. Just literally just draws out of it. Draws. She literally goes, draws. I really don't like Clara in series 8 or 9. I like her in series 10, in series 7, sorry, because series 7, she's absolutely got the purpose to be there. I really enjoy her with her and Matt Smith. I wish they had more screen time with these two, because they're just absolutely fantastic. But when we get to the Capaldi's Doctor, she's basically, the Doctor becomes her bitch. She like tells him what to do and stuff, and the Doctor basically does try putting her in her place, like in the Kill of the Moon, where he literally left them, and then she's literally said, I will smack you so hard you will regenerate. I really think the Doctor does become Clara's kind of bitch in series 8 and 9. I really don't like her in series 9. Series 9, I don't understand why she's in that season, because I really think she would have been great to leave in series 8, where in series 9 she's just there for the sake of it. She doesn't have no character growth. Yes, she dies. Yes, the Doctor's full of anger and rage. Yes, he goes to Gallifrey and then brings her back. And why am I trying to defend series 9 for Clara? That's just terrible. Terrible. Capaldi's the only good thing about series 9 for me. So yeah, I really don't like Clara. I think out of the 2010s, she's the weakest companion for the 2010s. So that is it, who I think is the weakest companions from 1960s, 1970s, 1980s, the mid-2000s, and the 2010s. Who do you think is the weakest companions out of these eras? Let me know. Thank you for watching and have a great day.